Dear students, today I am going to tell you about oncogenes and tumor suppressor genes. From my previous video, I said cancer is a complex genetic disease. So there is a genetic changes that disrupt the normal functioning of the cell and leading to the cancerous tumor. So these genetic changes, especially that occurs in the oncogenes or else proto-oncogenes, tumor suppressor genes and DNA repair genes, they contribute to the cancerous tumor formation. So how these genes going to play a role in cancerous development? What are these genes? So oncogenes and tumor suppressor genes, they are maintaining a delicate balance. If there is a upset in this, that is called genomic instability, that is leading to the uncontrolled cell growth and the decreased apoptosis. If the cell is not undergoing repair, then there is a tumor suppressor gene, it initiate or it induces the apoptosis or cell suicide. Thereby, what are the damage that is not going to carry to the next daughter cells, it will be the cell itself, it is going to die. So then if there is a instability that is leading to the uncontrolled cell growth, the angiogenesis, then metastasis, all this we have discussed already. Now what are oncogenes and what are tumor suppressor genes? So oncogenes are the genes, they are capable of inducing cancer. You know the origin of onco, the word, it is the tumor. So oncogenes means genes capable of inducing tumor formation or cancerous growth. Oncogene is a sequence of DNA, it's a gene is a sequence of DNA that mutated from its original proto-oncogene. So it is the original gene is the proto-oncogene. When it get mutated, it cannot function normally, then it will call now oncogene. Okay, that is leading to the cancer. Oncogenes are the regulatory genes. Proto-oncogenes are regulatory genes. They are very important genes. They regulate the cell proliferation or mitosis. They regulate the differentiation, cell differentiation, and also they regulate the cell survival. If there is a damage to the cell, you will see if it is get repaired, then the cell is going to be survived. All these activities are controlled by proto-oncogenes. So if there is a something happens, there is a genetic change or mutation occurs, it is not get repaired, then it is leading to it is going to get activated and it will be now turned into oncogenes. What are tumor suppressor genes? Tumor suppressor genes are normal genes that slow down the cell division. So it is the functioning method is opposite to that of the oncogene. So whenever there is the DNA damage, the DNA, there is a mistake during replication, it has to be corrected. Or else if the cell is not ready to pass from G1 to S phase, then it has to be controlled, because otherwise the cell is not ready, then it is leading to the abnormal cells, the abnormal daughter cells. That's why. So if the mistakes is cannot be repaired, then it has to induce apoptosis. So all these the activities are it is initiated by tumor suppressor genes. That's why it is called, the name itself indicates it is the function opposite to that of the oncogene. So it is suppressing the tumor formation. If it is not going to work, if it is get inactivated, that's what it is. If the tumor suppressor gene is inactivated, then it is leading to the uncontrolled cell division and cancer. This is once again I have showed here, this is a delicate balance, oncogene and tumor suppressor gene, then it is normal functioning in the cell. Then when there is a excessive activation or turned on of the oncogene, when there is excessive activation, and you will find there is inactivation or else a decreased activation of tumor suppressor gene. So this is the phenomena which is or else tumor suppressor gene inactivated or turned off. So these are the when the balance is upset, that is leading to the uncontrolled growth and tumor formation. So oncogene, what are the functions of the proto-oncogene, and how proto-oncogene changes into oncogene. So the gene products, they are very important. There are 70 and odd proto-oncogenes. They have vital functions in the cell. So they function either as the growth factors, they are secreted from extracellular bodies, and they act as a growth, they initiate the growth or they induces mitosis. So that is what they function as the growth factor, or as a growth factor, the receptor. You will see that this is the growth factor receptor, this is the plasma membrane. So this is the growth factor receptor. So these are the proto-oncogene products or the proteins. They function as the membrane receptor or growth receptor or growth factor, or else they are the signaling molecule. They are taking the signal, that is that the changes occurred, the growth is initiated, and that information will be taken to the chromosomes or else to the DNA. So this is what you can see. So the signaling process. So all these are the functions of these the proto-oncogene products. These proto-oncogenes are involved in the different crucial steps of cellular growth. That's what you can see, the cell division. Differentiation. Differentiation means you know that the zygote undergo division, then these blastula or the blastomeres, then they take up in different direction of division, direction of growth. You can see some cells going to form skin, some cells going to form muscles and nervous tissue, all this you can see, this is called differentiation. So this differentiation, then growth factors, then membrane receptors, cellular proteins that relay signals from the membrane to the inside, then transcription factors, so they initiate the transcription, the gene expression. So all these which promote cell cycle, all these are the functions of the proto-oncogenes. All these functions are under strict control, proper control, and expressed when they are really required. So how this proto-oncogene bringing normal function undergo and changes into oncogene and become cancerous. So this is what you can see, any change in the proto-oncogene sequence or mutation, or else if there is a changes in the amount of the protein, gene product of the proto-oncogene, then it interferes with the normal role of the cellular regulation, leading to the uncontrolled cell growth or neoplastic transformation or cancerous tumor. So there is you can see, this is the proto-oncogene, this is the chromosome you will find inside. So any carcinogen, it may be UV rays or it may be any chemicals, carcinogen chemicals, or else virus. So what they bring mutation in this gene. Now it is now oncogene. Proto-oncogene undergoes mutation and become oncogene, and that is, you can see, it is the cancerous transformation. Now it is the malignant transformation. So you can see there are two types of oncogenes. So one is cellular oncogenes, they are called C oncogenes, and there is the viral oncogenes, V oncogenes. So the virus also, you will able to see here, the virus is infecting. So in this the viral oncogene, it is pasting its genome into this host cell genome, and then thereby it is altering the expression of the host cell genome. Here it is activating the host cell genome, a particular which is responsible oncogene is activated. So this is the two ways how viral oncogene is going to be expressed in the host cell. So these are called oncogenic viruses. They carry oncogenes which are called viral oncogenes, which are picked up from the host cells. Either they are picked up from the host cells or during infection, or else during the course of evolution. These are called V oncogenes. So these you can see the cellular or proto-oncogenes are either they are called C oncogene or V oncogene. So they are regulating the normal cell division. So these oncogenes, there are the types of oncogenes and how they are named. So these oncogenes are designated by abbreviations. You can see MYC, Mike, and RAS. The origin and location of the gene is indicated by the prefix V for virus. As I said, if it is this oncogene, the source is from the viral origin, it is called viral oncogene. If it is from the cellular, then it is called C oncogene. So then they are also having some numbers, superscript. You can see here all these are the oncogenes. You will find here the HER2, HER2, all these depending for the specific identification. There are more than 70 oncogenes have been identified, and these I have listed these oncogenes and what their regular function. So they are mitogens, they are inducing mitosis, they function as a growth factor, platelet derived growth factor PDGF, then fibroblast growth factor FGF, epidermal growth factor, tumor growth factor. Like that, you can see all these are the normal growth factors. They are proto-oncogenes. When they are turned into oncogenes, they are leading to these cancers, you can see. So then similarly some the oncogenes, they functions as a cell membrane receptor. That is what ERB1, EGF receptor, or else EGF receptor 2, HER2. These are the one which are responsible for the breast cancer. So they are the proto-oncogenes. After a mutation, they are leading to the breast cancer. Then similarly signaling molecules, RAS. So they are their mutation leading to lung and ovarian cancer. Similarly transcription factor. There are so many transcription factor. Transcription factors are the induces transcription in the DNA inside the nucleus. C-Mic, N-Mic, L-Mic, C-Mic, all these the N-Mic that is leading to the neuroblastoma. L-Mic, lung cancer. So likewise you will find they are named like that. So 20% of human cancer, because of this RAS family, the oncogenes are get mutated. So how what is the process of oncogenesis? As I said, there is a mutation. There will be the point mutation. There is a changes in the single nucleotide of the base pair. So it is what I said in the RAS, that is the oncogene, you will find a point mutation, and this mutation, it is either by the virus or induced by the virus or by any chemical carcinogen or by ultraviolet radiations. So likewise all these carcinogen you are going to study in detail in the next video, or else it is maybe due to the gene amplification, due to some the hormonal factor, or due to some factors. These gene they are amplified. You can see instead of a single product they produces instead of 10 gram of a protein they produce 30 gram. Then that's like, so that is what you see. You can see the amplified proto-oncogenes have been found in breast cancer and neuroblastoma. Or else in this oncogene, you can see there is the third method of oncogenesis is called translocation. In this, there is the changes in the segment of the chromosome, or else there will be a chromosomal break going to occur. So this is leading to the dislocated chromosome. They contain proto-oncogenes. They removed from its regulation. When they are moved from their position, they are not, now it is not controlled. So they are going to be continuously, they are activated and they produce their gene product. So this is what showed here. You can see either it is changes in the point mutation, gene amplification, or the changes from the chromosomal segment. So this is the translocation I have showed here. In you will see in the Burkitt's lymphoma, this is the Burkitt's lymphoma, you will find there is a translocation of a part of the telomeric region, that is the region from 8th chromosome, and it is get attached to the 14th chromosome. So when it is in its original location, the c-MYC gene, it is regulated. When it is the changed position, it is not now regulated, so it is leading to the cancer lymphoma, because in this 14th position, where it is the position, it is the where you can see the immunoglobulin, that is the immunoglobulins are the antibody, they are the promoter regions are there. So that's why you can see it is leading to the lymphoma. Similar, you can see acute myelocytic leukemia, where you can see there is a translocation of the chromosomal segment from 7th to the 15th, or 9th to the 18th. So or else you can see the acute lymphocytic leukemia, where you can see it is from 9th to the 21st or 9th to the 22nd. So there is a translocation also leading to this. So this is how the oncogenes and how these oncogenes are functioning normally, and when they get mutated, how they are what are the process of oncogenesis and other things. Now what are tumor suppressor genes? As I said already, the tumor suppressor genes are the normal genes. They slow down the cell division. They repair the DNA mistakes, and or else if it is not repaired, then it is induces the process of apoptosis or programmed cell death or cell suicide. When tumor suppressor genes don't work properly, cells can grow out of control, which can lead to cancer. So tumor suppressor genes are segment of DNA that code for negative regulator of cell cycle proteins. They can prevent the cell from uncontrolled mitosis. Tumor suppressor genes are RB, you have studied already, retinoblastoma gene, P53, then P21. They are the roadblock to the cell cycle progression. Until certain events are completed, then only this roadblock will be cleared. So this is how they function. So a cell that carries mutated form of these tumor suppressor gene, then there is no control for the cell cycle, so the tumor growth. So the tumor suppressor genes, you will find they block either growth factor, either this the growth factor receptors, or else signaling molecules, or else transcription factor. So several roadblocks you will find here that is offered that is by the tumor suppressor gene. It functions totally opposite to that. It controls the oncogene expression. So and you can see if it is get mutated, there is no control. So these are just I listed some the tumor suppressor genes. DCC, that is the position, the P and Q arm of the chromosome, 18th chromosome Q arm. Similarly this RB, that is the 13th chromosome Q arm, and P53, 17th chromosome P arm. So this is the breast cancer gene, that is the tumor suppressor gene BRCA. This is in the 17th chromosome Q arm, and their normal function. What are they? So all these are transcription control. then sometimes you can see this mutation is get inherited in the family. So how exactly you will the famous Hollywood actress inherited this gene. So then sometimes due to some carcinogens, they may bring the mutation and suppression of this gene, leading to these cancer. So this is what I said earlier. This is in the cell cycle regulation. P53 and RB, these are very important to tumor suppressor gene. So the loss of P53, that's why it is called the guardian of the genome. In my previous slide I said that. So in human, 50% of cancer because of this the mutation in P53. So that is the importance of this P53 gene, and it's a gene product. So it is when get mutated, it cannot inhibit P21. P21 is very important. It is this offer this checkpoint. It is not bringing the binding of cyclin with the cyclin dependent kinase. You just check this diagram from the cell cycle regulation. So if this binding is not prevented, then there is a progression of cell cycle. So this is what you can see, it is a G1 checkpoint. If the G1, where you can see the proper nutrition, proper oxygen, all these are provided, then it is moving to the S phase, or else it will be it arrested in the G1 phase. So that is offered by the P53 and the RB. So when they get mutated, then there is no regulation. So it is the improper cell or improper malfunctioning the cell. It is undergo division and produces number of such malfunctioning cells. So you can see this daughter cells quickly accumulate both oncogenes and non-functional tumor suppressor genes, and tumor growth takes place. So this is again, I showed here the importance of the P53. P53 is very important. It arrests cell cycle, it repair the DNA, it also it can restart cell cycle, or else if it is cannot repaired, then it induces apoptosis. When it is non-functioning, it is mutated, it is not functioning, then cell cycle continues and leading to the tumorous growth. So what are the mechanism, the tumor suppressor genes? There are more than 30 types of tumor suppressor gene. Just I talked more about P53. There are there are P53, then P16, like that, P21, all this. So these how they get inactivated, either by mutation, point mutation, or frame shift mutation inactivate these genes, or else deletion in the base, then or else the virus may changes this virus may inactivate this, or else the promoters of the gene regulation, the promoter is not functioning, then also that it is not going to be expressed. So these are the mechanism how tumor suppressor genes are inactivated, thereby they are not going to control the cell cycle. So this is how exactly you will find, this is when they are functioning normally, tumor suppressor and oncogene. So the vehicle is keep the proper distance from the cancer. Then there is a one mutation, then second mutation, oncogene, tumor suppressor gene, then so the taking the vehicle nearer to because there is a brake failure, there is a gear failure, all this, that is what then it is taking and to the nearer to the cancer. So this is the overview how exactly the normal functions, normal cell functions, you can see. So all these are the carcinogens, they affecting the genome, they are bringing the genomic instability, DNA damage. If it is repaired, if it is failed to repair, there is a mutation. So there is the the oncogene get activated, then the apoptosis is inhibited, then you can see the inactivation of tumor suppressor genes, altered gene products, then you can see the malignant tumor. This is a overview of carcinogenesis. So just to this is Michael Bishop and Harold Veramus. They are awarded Nobel Prize in 1989 for their pioneering work on oncogenes. They are the first to identify these cellular oncogenes, CSARC. The CSARC is the one, it is present on the chromosome 20, and it is a membrane protein, and the similar counterparty they have found even in the virus, Rous sarcoma virus. So this the first time this discovery in their 70s they discovered, and that led to the identification of many proto-oncogenes responsible for human cancer. I met this Nobel laureate in one of the workshop I attended in Pune 2012. Thank you.